I'm Lisa Roberts and I'm an artist, animator, and I work at UTS leading a program called Living Data. And the purpose of that program is to make and bring together art inspired by climate science. I've had many conversations with scientists and been inspired mainly by the way they talk about their science and articulate with their whole bodies expressions, the passion, but that none of that exists in the papers that they give me to read. Scientists are telling us that we don't have a lot of time to mitigate our impacts on the environment, and the ways that they're communicating that are impenetrable to most people. The animation behind me is probably the most difficult one that I've ever made about krill, for two reasons. One reason is that it's actually the most devastating news or story about what's happening to krill. And secondly, because the writing was just so difficult to read, and it had lots and lots of graphs and charts. I read it 5 times or more, had conversations with the scientists who wrote it, and in the end I just put it aside and went with the feelings, my personal response about the devastating news that they were reporting about krill. I divided into 2 sections. The first section is called Life, and in that I combined everything that I know about krill after quite a number of years of studying them and working with the scientists, about how they behave, how they have sex, and how they frolic. It's full of life. And the second section I call Death, and that is a repetition to an extent of that first section, but it stops at all those moments that are described in the paper of when krill stop developing normally. The eggs don't hatch, the embryos just fail to develop. And I set it to the saddest music that's probably ever been written, Chopin's Prelude No. 4. And they love it. The scientists want to show that. They came here actually just the other day and they want to show that at their next international conference on krill. It built up my confidence in allowing the story to come from the heart. After all these years of working with these scientists, finally they trust me enough to just, after I've read the paper and understand the science, to just trust my senses totally. And that was the first thing they recognised when they first saw the animation I came up with. So Kawaguchi said, "You've captured the feeling of great sadness that I feel about this news."